tell you if you punch somebody and you go like this, it's not going to be very good. But when you get your hip into it, much better. Right now. So if you're staying on the upper leg, you can alternate the shoulders. Now I use more pressure on the way up, and I use less pressure on the way down. So when I go up, I got more pressure, lighter pressure on the way down. Okay? I can do a stroke like this, but I'm still moving with the stroke. So I could do it here like this. So I am pressing down like a C stroke, or I could press down and move up with the stroke, right? Do a little bit lighter over the knee. You could do a similar type of stroke here. Now, another thing that we've talked about before is a pace, right? So more with people that are beginners, they don't have a good pace with their massage, right? They're not smooth, right? They're doing like this, and that's, I'm trying to exaggerate it a little bit. But this stroke should be the same time and speed as the next stroke, right? So it should look something like that. See how it's same pressure, same speed. So it should look like that. Now if you're going to do thumbs, what I prefer is that you do thumb in like this, as much as you can. I use a little bit of thumbs here on the lower body, but I don't do these kinds of strokes. You won't see me doing this. Why? Because I used to do those kind of strokes, and guess what happened? Injured my thumb, right, for several months. So now what I do instead is I work this way with my thumbs. I don't use those to pinch. So you can use them less, that's going to be much better. I sometimes will do a pulling stroke. So I can do a pulling stroke up here. So still heavier pressure, lighter pressure, heavier pressure, lighter pressure, right? You come over the kneecap or patella. And also you want to get used to kind of just leaning into your client, right? So if I'm doing a stroke, I'm just taking my body weight and leaning in, and then using that power. So I'm leaning in, and now I move forward with my knees. So come in, lean in, and now move forward. Okay? It's the same thing that you would use in martial arts. Okay. Now sometimes I'll also do knuckles here. So harder on the way up, lighter on the way back. I can do alternating knuckles. I can do fist here. Cupping. Okay. I can do a little more pressure here with my fist here. I can press in, but I got my elbow in toward my side of my body. I can press in. And lighter on the way back. So this way I can generate much more force. I'm just watching his facial expression. Make sure I'm not doing too much, right? He starts going like this, then I increase the pressure, right? So I would watch his facial expression on this if I start going deeper. I can do that same knuckling here or open fist on the quadricep muscles. Right, so we got our quads here, we got 4 quadricep muscles, we got our rectus femoris, and then deep to that I've got vastus intermedius. On the lateral side, I got vastus lateralis. On the medial side, we got vastus medialis, right? Adductors on the outside. What do we have on the outside? IT band, right? I worked a lot on this yoga instructor this morning on our IT band, right?
Oh, my friend always massage like to this, this. But forehand, she do job 18 years. Black, black, black.
She's going too deep, man.
Become black.
Black and blue?
Yeah, black.
Ah.
มันบอกดำใช่ไหม
How many massage per day?
6 people every day.
6 people,
18 years.
5 days or 6 days? 6 days.
7 days maybe.
6 days.
Okay, new
Sometimes,
job.
yeah.
Need a new job. Maybe you
Too
could be a
much job.
teacher.
Yeah, she
Something.
do very good.
Too
But
much.
18 years.
Yeah. Just one hand or both?
Both.
Both hands, black and blue?
Black, 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 black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very ugly. Yeah.
She worked for 10 years. She doesn't have it.
No,
Yeah.
no
I
more.
worked for 25 years. I don't
Yeah,
have it.
depend on the
Yeah.
people.
She
You have to
become
push harder.
For here very big.
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
Thing.
Good. Yeah.
No more. No back is
Yeah.
good.
Good technique.
Yeah.
Very big.
So, yeah, I don't know what she's doing. I know Chinese. I learned from Chinese student. You can do forearm, right? From Chinese, learn forearm.
Yeah.
You can
Chinese
do,
use this sometimes.
right? You can do
Yeah, yeah.
forearm. I don't use as much forearm, but if you like forearms, especially on the back, I had one of the Chinese students, and she did it on my back. I'm like, that's good. Not hard to learn, I don't think. And so. You guys can learn from each other, right? Maybe Chinese work with Thai people. Okay. All right. So then we can come down into the feet. I'm going to show you a couple that I like on the feet. I like working around the malleolus at the ankle. So we got fingers coming around, and then with the thumb, I come down with the thumbs, come up with the fingers. I can do this on you too if you want to feel it. This is one of the ones I like having done on myself. That's why I do it. Let me get a little more cream or oil here. So what you might notice is I'm not doing this, right? I'm doing this, kind of like a tug of war.
If you 2 feet, need to take the glove, you work.
It depends. I usually don't use gloves, but if somebody had like really dirty feet or something,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
use gloves, or if they have a cut, I use gloves. But otherwise, I don't use gloves. I haven't used gloves for the most part for 25 years.
If
But
you
if dirty, if they're dirty, sometimes I'll clean.
Yeah, if
Sometimes I'll take, usually in American spa, I'm not sure about Chinese or Thai or Vietnamese. Usually you have a sink in the room. You can take warm a cloth and just wipe it off. I think you also, right?
Yeah,
Thai people also,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Chinese
yeah.
also?
Yeah, also too.
Yeah. So what I'm doing is here, so I can do an alternating stroke, right? It's kind of the opposite of what I was doing before. I'm coming back this way, or I can do both. You grab on pretty hard and then pull back, right? Grab on pretty hard and then pull back. But I usually do each individual toes. Now personally, seems like everybody I've gone to, Asian people, I'm not sure about Guatemala, but we do some kind of snap thing here. I don't like that at all.
Like-
If one person did it wasn't so bad. Other people, it's like, oh, that's so annoying. But just my opinion. Maybe if you had it all the time, you're okay with it. I don't care for this. It's like, oh, geez, just leave that out. But anyway, just my opinion, one person. If your clients like it, keep doing it. So I just go over, I don't do any snapping things, but I do each toe. Whoops, I just snapped it. Okay, so just my preference. Another important area, right? Feet. So sometimes with people, meaning students, have had massage, and maybe the foot massage, I think could be better with some students. Their back is really good, legs tend to be really good, but then they get neck, usually do a pretty good job. They get to the feet, not as good sometimes. So, you know, if your foot massage is just so-so, that's okay. Just get with somebody that's good with foot massage, that can give you some feedback, and just get better at it, right? No problem. Now what I do too is, once I get done with the foot, I'll come back in, I'm doing a pretty deep stroke on the way up, doing a much lighter stroke on the way back down, and then I do a nerve stroke, kind of down like this, and I do a compression of the foot, so I can come around and do this on you if you like. So kind of compress the bones, and followed by like a nerve stroke down the end. That's how I do it. you can see, I can do it on you if you like. You can see if you like it. Maybe you have something else that you do. I don't do a lot of work through the sheets, but I've had many students from the school, and I like it. I like the work through the sheets. So if you do work through the sheets, feel free to do that or show other students. If you have any of those strokes, feel free to show other students. So I'm not saying don't do that, I'm just saying I don't do that so much myself. But I like when students do that with me. Okay, I'm going to do a quicker job on this leg and then we'll go to the arms. So generally speaking, I'm going a little bit lighter when I start a little bit slower. It's a Swedish massage. And then after I do a few strokes, then it's going to get deeper and deeper and deeper. Just like if you're warming up for a workout, you're going to start out slower, right, gym teacher? And then after a while, I can get in deeper with my fists and my knuckles and my elbows and whatever I want to do there. Okay, so I'm just having you look at my shoulders is what I'm concerned about. Should be still coming from your whole body when you do those strokes. Again, you can do a pulling stroke if you'd like. I do heavier on the way up, lighter on the way away from the heart. You don't have to do it that way, that's just my preference. Over the patella here. Okay. Remember, we can do knuckles, right? We can do single knuckles, maybe not your friend. You can do open fist, right? Lighter on the way back. I'm doing thumbs now. I'm using that thumb, but I'm not doing this. I'm just cranking and emphasizing the thumb here. But I've got it along my first finger, so I don't end up injuring myself again, because I did that already. I'll try not to do that again. Okay. And again, here's that one that I do around the medial lateral malleolus. I add the thumbs in here and then come up. And we can do down the foot, alternating, or single pull. I can do my individual toes. And then I'm going to close out the leg with a fairly deep stroke. So I'm putting in a fair amount of pressure in here. I'm light up over the knee. Light on the way back. Close up. I can do nerve stroke. Right onto the foot. Fair amount of pressure. Nerve stroke to finish. Or I can do both legs if it's been both.